Hey, everybody. Welcome to New Music 30. I'm Brent Schlemmer. We're here tonight to feature Indianapolis local and regional musicians showcasing their video content and their original tunes, along with some great interviews. So here we are tonight, episode number 2. We've got Mr. Moonshine and Music himself, Joe Shelton. So let's get right into the interview. Like, hi. Like I did with Matthew.
Woo!
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. See, that's definitely getting into the show. You see how that works?
Welcome to New Music 30.
You're right. You need to do something dumb, and that's it. Joe Shelton. Yeah, man. Thanks for doing the show. I appreciate you.
Hey, man. Always.
It feels backwards. This feels kind of backwards since I've been doing so much stuff on your shows that this feels kind of backwards. I'm asking the questions here, sir.
I got to be real with you. Asking after doing a whole lot of those interviews, sometimes when I get interviewed, I end up interviewing the interviewer.
I bet. I'm sure that's exactly how it goes.
But it happens.
Yep. So tell me about your childhood.
Yeah. I mean, that is my thing, right? I guess I want to know about people somehow.
Right.
I don't know.
Get there any way you can.
Well, I think people probably heard me say this before, that Moonshine and Music is my therapy show. It's how I can, talk to other people and try to find out, what they're made of. And then I kind of take a little piece of them with me. And most of the people that I pick to be on the show, I'm inspired by in some way. Like it may be a little thing in their music, or a little thing in the way that they perform, or a little thing in the way that I've seen in one of their videos, or something cool that I saw on their Facebook page or whatever. And so I'm just looking for inspiration most of the time from them, and I don't have to look very far, it seems, in the indie, like INDY music scene. Even though we've done some shows with people outside of it, but it's a amazingly talented group of people, and it makes me I'm very proud to be part of that in my home city.
I think that's a perfect lead-in to the first video here. I think.
I mean, you think? I mean, home is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I think that a lot of the things about home is interesting to me, because my brother passed away in 2017, and this song, more than any of the other songs I've written, is completely and utterly about him. It's actually something that I've been trying to be a little more open with. The mystique of it doesn't matter to me anymore. Not after it got played a million times on Facebook and
sure.
And all of that. And I actually wrote this song from the perspective of him being up in heaven, which is what my grandmother always called home. It's, you'll never be alone again as long as you're home. It's basically my hopefulness that we'll be together again at some point. And he was always one to he's 8 years older than me, and one to give me comfort in the world, and give me, hey, it'll be all right. There's this and this and this. And I don't have that guidepost anymore. And it was kind of something I was looking for,
sure,
searching for in a song. And that song literally came to me one night when I was really, really depressed about it. And I had to write this song for the Random Band Challenge. And just somewhere out of the ether, whether it was from him or some divine spirit, I don't know. It just all came into my head, and it's been by far the biggest song that I could have put out anywhere. And I didn't expect it to be that, even though I knew people really liked it. And, when I was doing the album, I was, I know this song is going to be one that people are into. I play every time I play it live. People come up to me and tell me, I like that song Home, and tell me what they think it's about. And they never could get what it was about. I mean,
never quite exactly it, yeah.
Unless you actually knew what I was thinking, But I think that you're right. There is a bit of that, right? An interpretation of that could be the whole humanity angle that you're
right.
that we were talking about, and
yeah.
I've heard that one, and I've heard, you know, people like, so you know, there was a breakup and you got back together. That's really cool. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess, you know, that's an interesting angle.
I need you to know you will never be alone again. You'll never feel gone again as long as you're home. No matter if you go to the grocery or drive-in, I'll be waiting here for you when you come home. And I know your heart has been beaten down before, and I know your heart can't really take it anymore. I'll be here to love you now and evermore. And I need you to know you will never be alone again. You'll never feel gone again as long as you're home. No matter if you go to the grocery or drive-in, well, I'll be waiting here for you when you come home. And baby, don't worry about the past. And don't you worry if our love will last. I promise you now, I'll be right by your side. I need you to know you will never be alone again. You'll never feel gone again as long as you're home. No matter if you go to the grocery or drive-in, I'll be waiting here for you when you come home. And when you go to work, you can tell all your friends, tell them you're in love again and that you've come home.
That first one, after that, we were like, okay, we're gonna make one. I want to make one where everything is perfect, like everything sounds clean and perfect. That was my whole goal with the Americana Diaries album, and and so we worked on it forever, like a really long time, like 2 years of recording time for that second studio album. The Americana Diaries album got me a lot more shows because it was a lot better record, and a lot of people could started listening to it more. And as those people listened to it more, talent buyers wanted me to come play. And then I went and played, and then more people saw me play and said, "Hey, my buddy's got this other bar. Do you want to come play there?" And you know,
Yep,
and
that's the way it works, though, right?
you know, and that's the hard work of it, right? You have to go and put in your work. And I think that one of the things that happened was I was going to put the Americana Diaries out, and And it came back from mastering the day my brother passed away. And I was like, I can't market a record. I know it takes more what I did before. I'm not going to drop this thing here in a couple of weeks when my head's not in it and just have it flounder for a while and try to mess with it. So I just decided that it was going to be fall. And I took that summer trying to figure out how I'd make music video or whatnot. And my daughter, Bailey, who is on our show sometimes on Moonshine and Music, she wanted to go on this, what she called the Great American Road Trip. She wanted to go to Roswell, New Mexico to see the aliens. She wanted to hit like different spots. And I was like, okay, well, I want to book shows along that route, like where, you know, we'll just go, I'll play music and we'll have a good time and we'll shoot a music video along the way.
Sitting on the steps by the Coke machine, 6-ounce bottle tastes like a dream. Roadside motel on the south end of town. People here and there as the sun goes down. Bored as hell tonight, can't get out of my head. Don't wanna be a rock star, just play ball instead. Americana Diaries, telling stories about you and me. It's a great day to be living in the land of the young and free. Cruising up and down Main Street, or flying out on Highway 3. There's no place that I'd rather be. Americana Diaries. In a small town bar by the neon sign, had a dance with a girl that was 29. She had a secret t-shirt and long red hair. Only problem was her boyfriend and that crazy stare. Running through the parking lot, scared of being dead. Crazy mix of thoughts running through my head. Americana Diaries, telling stories about you and me. It's a great day to be living in the land of the young and free. Cruising up and down Main Street, or flying out on Highway 3. There's no place that I'd rather be. Americana Diaries. Hotel on the beach, smell that salty air. Packed a cooler, grill, and some old green lawn chairs. Temperature 103, I hope the truck don't stall. Still get time across the street at Volusia Mall. Petty Earnhardt Gordon, hell, I've seen them all before. When that green flag flies, you can hear them roar. Americana Diaries, telling stories about you and me. It's a great day to be living in the land of the young and free. Cruising up and down Main Street, or flying out on Highway 3. There's no place that I'd rather be. Americana Diaries. One more time. Cruising up and down Main Street, or flying out on Highway 3. There's no place that I'd rather be. Americana Diaries.
Thing that like I loved about it so much was I love this whole idea of telling all these little stories about American life. Like that's kind of what I go for in my songs. Like it's not about, necessarily, sometimes they're love songs, sometimes there's something else, but really they're always just stories about, you know, things that I know about Midwestern life, where I've grown up and where I live. And, you know, I kind of try to write things from a genuine standpoint and not necessarily an abstract one, you know.
Sure.
And other performers are great at that abstract thing. It's just not something I do very well. And so a lot of the time they're all really about something that hit me and from some kind of angle of genuine things. And I love the whole idea of that the album is Americana Diaries. Like each one of them is some story that you might have written in your diary about this point in time in your life. And that one song being a little snippet of the album, like
Sure.
and so and I feel like that one came together really well. So I always like to play it. I don't know, it's one of these love it or hate it kind of things I've heard from people, and that makes me like it even more. I literally write 10 songs or song parts before there's one that you ever get to hear. Like, you know,
Sure.
we've been, you know, you've been working with me on recording, and I expect that you'll want to on the next record. And I want you to, because like you pull out those bass things that I can only hear in my head. And when I get somebody who's on the right page with me on that, that's just that's a rare thing for me. You know, that's why I work so closely with Todd Blower, because he just like gets what I want out of the guitar. You know, like I say, okay, I kind of want it to sound like this, and he just can do that. And those are the kind of things that you know, that's a songwriter really looks for, is a way to impart all that stuff that's in your head. Like maybe I have a bunch of songs in my head and I can throw them out there, and you guys are like the spark plugs that pick them up and move them, you know. Got into the City of Trains record, I had already made up my mind exactly what I wanted everything to sound like you know, it was like, I know exactly where we're going with this. I want only these instruments. I'm not going to play around with pianos. Like I love playing piano, but I didn't want any on that record, you know. And I wanted a couple songs that were really sparse, and and I wanted a couple that were really heavy with a lot of stuff, and then I wanted a bunch of them that were just straight up Americana songs.
Yeah, real straightforward. Yeah.
And you know, from a stylistic point of view, it just fit all of the songs that I ended up putting in that album as the story of really the City of Trains, the world that I've been living in. And I still feel like that record is, you know, it's been out almost a year now, and I in the last couple of weeks, I've had so many people that are listening to the song City of Trains and telling me this song is exactly what I think of the world right now, you know, like
Right.
and you know, that was what I was thinking about the world for different reasons, and for some of the same ones. I mean, you know, the political situations and stuff were not good in 2017 after the 2016 and into 2017, but there was also other stuff going on personally that led me to writing, you know, that particular song. But this whole package of songs here is about this crazy world. It's about the City of Trains, the technology that makes it feel like there's always something roaring in your head, like you're sitting in a train track stopped, and you can't ever find silence. And then sometimes when you find silence, you find that you really don't want to, like, because then it really gets scary, right?
Sure.
And that push and pull is what I'm kind of exploring throughout all the stories that are in City of Trains as a record.
It's a city of trains, and I'm stuck in the rain. And the call that came, it broke my heart. The path home is blocked, and the choo-choo is stopped, and all I can see is a boxcar splashed with eternity. And I don't know why the world is stopped now. Well, I don't know why I can't go now. The train has pulled away, the tracks look clear now, and I can't find my way. My life is stuck now in the city of trains. I finally take off to stop the honking of horns, but inside my head I can still hear the roar as I get closer and closer. Well, I'm almost there. I hope I can save my heart from this disrepair. And I don't know why the world has stopped now. And I don't know why I can't go now. The train has pulled away, the tracks look clear now, and I can't find my way. My life is stuck now in this city of trains. It's a city of trains, and the gates came down and stopped the rain, but it still won't stop the pain.
First time that it came back, I mean, it sounded good when we did it and when we had the rough mix. And then the first time when it came back from Nashville, and you know, DR Ford had gotten a hold of that and put it, I mean, he just made it beautiful. I mean, unbelievable. It just sounds amazing. And you know, and not even because it's my song, it could have been anybody's. And I would think that I would be like, wow, that little piece is really,
That one moment, yeah, that one moment where it all kind of comes, when it all really comes in. You're like, yep, there's the one, and it plays to the song so well. You know, it's just like, you know, just
Well,
like
yeah,
you were
it's
saying
all-
before, it's like that. There's a
whole thing
sonic
with the trains, right?
quality.
The whole theme of the trains, and that whole thing being a sonic song about trains anyway, like that sound, that chugging sound, is what's in your head when you can't get things straight because you're in this technological blitz. I mean, I don't know how many friends of mine have like said, I've got to shut off Facebook for a week, or I've got to shut off my phone for a week, or there's just too many things going on and I can't mentally handle it. That is City of Trains to a T.
Mm-hmm.
You know, felt like that was the theme of the record was, yeah, here's me laid out on a platter. I mean, you could almost, instead of calling it City of Trains, just called it Joe Shelton. That record is is that personal. And you know, and I'm working now on writing some new songs for what will be another record, and these things are a different kind of personal, and there's also a different side of me that may want to explore doing some interesting different kinds of music as I've written some of these things that I've got, and I don't think I want to do another personal kind of introspective diatribe. There's going to be a couple introspective songs, so that's just how I am. But I got some other things in the works with that, and and it'll definitely be way more political as the world washes over me and people wash over me. I become more and more a person that wants to just have compassion and love and find peace and humanity and freedom.
I think that's what that's what we're all looking for. What, it doesn't matter what form it takes. Everybody's looking to be themselves, and I think that's a lot more acceptable now. Like there's a lot less, there's a lot more boxes that can be checked these days than it used to be. It used to be kind of like, if you go down the list of the things on like the census, like even something as simple as that, it's not just like white, black, other,
Yeah,
you
or
know?
male, female. There's more than that.
Yes.
I that it's one of these things that you get to be 40 plus years old and it's hard to change your mind, right? Of how it's just ingrained in you to some degree, but then you see it from another perspective and you start to think there is more than that. I mean, and maybe how I felt when I was 20 was wrong. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe it was a naive or a completely not understanding point of view that needs to be re-examined, and you need to become a better person.
Well, I think we've hit about everything. I'd like you to plug all of your sites, like your websites, your YouTube channel, your Spotify, whatnot.
Well,
I know that I'll let you say it that way. I won't get in the way of like, oh, what about this? So yeah, so just rattle off all of the places people can find your stuff.
I think the main places that you can find me online are, of course, my website is the best place. It's the hub for what I do, and it's getting ready to get a lot better. I'm doing a lot of development on my website. I've been putting some pieces together. There's some things that are going to happen, but it's called MrJoeShelton.com, and that is the very best hub. If you get there, you can get to all the other things. The main things that I do social media wise, the top of the list is Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I also do YouTube. And if you search for Joe Shelton on Google, I'll come right to the top of the list there, and you can kind of get to me from there as well. But I would say that if I wanted people to visit anything, it would be my website. That's where you're going to find like Joe Shelton Central. It's MrJoeShelton.com. And from there, you can link off from the menus to see Moonshine and Music, or, which is the podcast and the web series. It's video web series on YouTube, and the audio version of it goes out on all the podcast apps. And you can just search for Moonshine and Music, and you can see 120 episodes of the best artists you've never heard. And they are varied and all over the place. Mostly, you'll see shows where we interview those folks and talk about their music, and in other times, we've put together songwriting challenges. We've been doing music reviews lately. We had the Moonshine Circle, which was a show that was completely sponsored by Moonshine and Music. There were live shows, and we filmed those last summer, and they're coming out this summer on our YouTube channel. And we have a little hybrid thing that's been going on that's been put on hold, but hopefully we'll pick it back up soon, which is MixTape Caravan, which is our touring mixture of artists that sometimes it's a songwriting circle. We're trying not to be genre specific. We're trying to be creative and to mix it up and not just be your stale old thing. Plus, we go on the road and pick up artists along the way that are from those local places.
Sure.
The first couple,
cool as hell.
Springfield, Illinois, and then we did one in Dayton, and at Blind Bob's Bar in Dayton. That was a fantastic, fun show. Those MixTape Caravan shows, just search for that out there on the Moonshine and Music page if you want to see something that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'd say MrJoeShelton.com is the main place.
That'll get you to everything else you need to see, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Joe, for being on the show. Well, that's it for episode number 2, New Music 30. Thanks to Joe Shelton for coming on, hanging out with me for a while. Make sure and run over to his website, MrJoeShelton.com. You can find links to all of his music, all of his videos, all of his online content, Moonshine and Music, all of his stuff that he does. Go check it out, and look for us again next Saturday, 9 o'clock, right here on NewMusic30. I'm Brent Schlemmer. We'll see you next week.